All right. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation. Hopefully, they got there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the whole select the believers and listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. All right. And with GMS Mississippi Camp, I'm the brother Yasha Mouth. All right, to my right.
I'm the brother I know.
And what we want to go into is hastening the day. All right. And this is a lesson, all right, inspired by the book of 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 10 on down. All right. Because we understand the end game. And we understand life beyond the destruction of America, okay, beyond the destruction of this system. You see, what we're seeing is people becoming frantic and antsy, and, people are unsure, people are complaining, people are crying, and that's because all their faith and their hope is in this current system. You know, everything that they believe in is based on this system being up and running. Their belief system is attached to this system function. But our belief system is attached to this place falling, to this place being completely obliterated when we speaking of America and this beast system. So this is why we on two different ends of the spectrums when it comes to believers and non-believers, man. Okay? Because really there's no such thing as a non-believer because you believe in something. Now you might be a non-believer in the truth, but you believe in something, and you live your life based on their belief system. And people, all right, belief system is based and rooted, all right, in the kingdom of Esau continuing on like it is, man. You got it, bro.
This is the book of Second Peter, chapter 3, starting at verse 10.
Yep.
It says, "But the day of Yahweh Shema Shai will come as a thief in the night."
Yeah, so this is gonna come in the thief in the night. Why everyone is crying about the tariffs. Everyone is crying to get back to some normalcy and the student loan and debt. See, while people are crying and complaining and trying to figure this thing out, guess what? Hey, the Lord is gonna creep down on them, man. All right, because he's gonna have these calamities that's gonna just unleash in the earth. Okay, and then war gonna happen quick, and then eventually Yahweh Shai is gonna show up in the midst of that war. So Yahweh Shai is gonna be like a thief in the night to some, because their whole thing is just trying to survive, man. Trying to make it. They're gonna be so occupied with surviving till the day of Yahweh Shai, that the literal day when he appears is gonna be like a thief in the night. You got
Come, read the bottom part here, going to
okay,
verse
yeah,
10. This is in the King James Study Bible. It says, "The day of Yahweh Shema Shai refers to the return of Mashiach and judgment, since this day results in the final apocalyptic judgment."
yeah, the final judgment. Okay, because this is when Esau Edom is going to be judged for all his wickedness he's done, even all the way back to the garden. You know, matter of fact, real quick, get Revelation 12:7. We'll come back to that point.
So Revelation 12:7.
Yep, yep. Because this judgment has been building up ever since the garden. Because you go to the serpent, and what did the serpent do, man? He destroyed paradise. All right. You go into Cain. What is the legacy of Cain? They brought violence to the earth. They made the earth very violent. You go into the time before the flood. It say the earth was full of violence. Okay, and the descendants of Cain played a major part in it. Okay, now you go into this time under Esau, Edom. Look at the earth, man. It's ran by witchcraft and violence. Okay, so this man has a legacy of destroying paradise, and now he's finna be judged for that, man. You got it, bro.
So 12:7.
Yeah.
Come this book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought his angels."
Yeah, so this is and the dragon fought with his angels. So this is the final showdown between all right, good and evil. Yahweh Shai is coming to meet this beast system head on. This is what this thing is building up to, man. Okay, and this is what we haste to see. If we haste for righteousness, okay, to rule the earth, man, we should haste, all right, for this showdown between good and evil, because we know we have the victory through Yahweh Shai. Okay, so this is Yahushua coming to judge, all right, Esau, Edom, all right, for the way that he runs the earth, man, and this rebellion against righteousness in the earth, man. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 8 it says, and prevail not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
Yeah, so and prevail not. So this dragon, all right, this beast system, this new Roman Empire is not going to prevail against Yahushua. And this is the Lord has the movie, is written perfectly, because the same government that crucified him, the Roman government, is now in power when he returns, man, to conquer. You know, hey, the Lord has, hey, the Heavenly Father brought everything full circle, man. That's why Esau had to come into power. He had to reestablish Rome in the earth. He had to get even it said the dragon and his angels, those are aircrafts, fighter jets. Okay, so he had to get the technology to where he has fighter jets. See, now everything is in place for the end, all right, to take place, man, for the end to happen. So now it's just a build up to the actual end where Yahweh Shai is going to come meet this man head on. To say something.
God. Oh, you made a comment. You said Esau had to get the fighter just to get to where he is. If you look at all this technology, everything that Esau has been given, because it all comes from Yahweh Shema Shai, their left hand. Everything that he's given is it was all designed for him to get in order to fulfill the scriptures. You look at the satellites, the unicorn,
Yep.
Social media, YouTube, all that's used for the word to be broadcasted all amongst four corners. So everything that Esau has it was ultimately already designed for him to get. It has a good side and a bad side. The good side of it is for the truth. The bad side of it is for the fear for whoever need to be on the other side.
Like you said, the YouTube, you can either be enchanted, by the internet, or you can be, all right, edified. So you can either be enchanted or edified, through the same technology, man. That's the duality of how about Shem Shai. You got it, bro.
Verse 9. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil.
Hey, that old serpent. You see? So going back to what you read in the study Bible, it says the final event, judgment. So this judgment is going to reach all the way back to the time of the serpent until now. So this is why it's just a final judgment, because Esau never come back into power again, and eventually he's going to be eradicated, and these heathens going to be forever submissive unto the throne of David, which Yahweh Shai has been established in the earth, man. And these are the things that we hate. You got it, bro.
What roughly paraphrase the scripture say, envy not the ones who basically I know I'm butchering the scripture, but going into just because they don't receive the judgment yet.
Oh yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah, that going to you can get the Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, I believe. Ecclesiastes. It's gonna be out the proverb, right out the proverb. But yeah, it's Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, you know. And people have jumped on Esau bandwagon because he hasn't been punished, you know, because they see, people see wickedness rewarded, and there's an incentive for people to do wickedness, man. And this is why you have this great wicked rebellion in the earth, man, because wickedness is rewarded under this man's system. And that's why if you're wicked, you for sure want this system to continue on, man. Okay, because this is a system where wickedness thrives, man. You know, that's why niggas, nigga woman, especially Eve. Because this is a system that it pretty much allows Eve, to just have her way out here, man. You see, so for sure they want this shit to go on. Young niggas like, cause these neighborhoods, like this is a criminal paradise. Like Jake neighborhood is a criminal paradise, man. But it's all under Esau. Go ahead.
I was watching that documentary last night, and it was going into not city going into why uh, uh it's like the ones who everybody in this world, if you want to be righteous, some form of want to do right by people in any case, this ain't the age for you.
Nah.
This ain't the time for you.
No, what's it? Good guys finish last.
You gotta be. You basically going to. You gotta be grimy. You gotta be deceptive. You gotta be cunning. You know, you gotta be all these things that basically goes in being wicked in order to make it in this society, man. And if you have to do all of that to make it in this society, man, you gotta understand like how much are you if you really want it here, if you really want this kingdom, how much are you willing to sell out? You know, I can't speak for everybody, but I know for us, you just like, nah, bro, we rather just hasten the day, you know, just go with the day to day, and then we know we're gonna get it all tenfold in the kingdom.
Hundredfold.
Come, a hundredfold, Salaki.
Mm.
This is the Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11. It says, because sentence against an evil word is not executed speedily thereof, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Yeah, and that's beginning with Esau.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then people have jumped on the Edomite bandwagon, you know, which is to get it by any means necessary. Throw morals out the window, integrity, honor, honesty, throw all of it out the window. It's all about what you can achieve,
Mm-hmm.
okay? What you can accomplish, man. You know, whether it's finances, popularity, clout, power, pleasure. It's all about what you can achieve for self, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and morals and integrity and honor, those things are thrown out the window, man. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah, you get frowned on for having honor.
Yeah.
I remember years ago. This is I think this was before I came in the truth. I was talking to one guy. He was like, you know, all women. It's understanding that all women gonna cheat. I was like, huh? But that's the type of world
Mm.
that you in right now. You know, you shouldn't. That's not something that you should want. You know, you shouldn't.
Standard.
That standard. You should want order. You know, you should be able to come around brothers, and you know everybody feel comfortable. You know, you should want overall righteousness, man. You should want to worry about any of that wicked bullshit that's enjoyed here in Babylon. But again, you know what we're going into after that final judgment. All that's gonna be done away with.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't gonna have to worry about no more of that.
Mm-hmm. You got book.
Oh, let me start from the top of that nine again.
Oh, yeah, you can read all of that.
Come, this is verse 9, Revelation 12 and 9. It says the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world.
Which deceived the whole world. You see, this man deceived the earth, man. You know, and no one's more deceived than here in America, man. You know, America was sold the biggest dream. All right. And now their dream, you know, is becoming a nightmare reality, man. Okay? You see, now prophecy is waking you niggas up. You know how you slap a nigga, wake him up, you know what I'm saying?
You get the nudge
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
you
Yeah,
slap the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
nigga.
Prophecy is slapping you niggas up.
Your guy get
Yeah,
bucked and shit.
slapping you niggas awake.
Nigga looking
Yeah,
for an explanation.
grab a nigga by his neck, wake your bitch ass up.
Hey, for real.
And now it's a nightmare, man.
Yep.
Okay? You got it, bro.
It says he was cast out into the earth and his angels were cast out with him.
Yep. So he was cast into the earth and the angel was cast out with him. That means that this man's military is gonna be completely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're gonna be in the heavens, but they're gonna be obliterated and they're gonna be destroyed in the earth. Man, the second angel talk about how they're gonna nothing was perceived but smoke and dust. You see? So Esau gonna have all his glory, his military in the heavens, the atmosphere, and it's gonna be turned to dust. It's gonna the dust is gonna fall back to the earth, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Esau, this high position, this high status that he's been blessed to have, the Lord gave him for a moment. He's gonna lose that status, man, like that. As a matter of fact, get that real quick in Luke 10 and 18,
10 and 18.
and then we'll get back to that.
This hit in there.
Yeah, that was Luke, 10, yeah, 18, you know.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 18.
Yep.
And he said unto them, talking about Yahushua,
Mm-hmm.
I beheld Satan as lightning fall from the heaven.
I beheld Satan as the lightning fall from heaven. So Yahweh Shai is letting you know that Satan's fall gonna be quick. And Satan is speaking of Esau, Edom, because Shaitan goes to adversary. And Esau is the representatives of Satan in the earth, man. This is the nation that represents Satan in the earth. Just as we represent Yahweh Bashim Shai in the earth on the right hand side, Esau represents Satan on the left hand side, man, in the earth, man. Because he's
Mm-hmm.
doing the bidding of Satan in the earth. which is to be the adverse to wickedness, man.
Come on.
You know, so the Yahweh Shai said, I seen Satan fall like lightning, which means his rulership is going to be diminished like that. When Yahweh Shai turned over, soon as Yahweh Shai entered this realm, all right, it's over. All right,
Mm-hmm.
it's just gonna be dust and you know
You know,
everywhere.
you know, be watching the movie,
Yeah,
and like one person will be winning, they'll just start fighting back. It ain't finna be no winning.
no, ain't no
It's
back.
gonna be all pressure.
Yeah, it's gonna be one way.
It's gonna be soon he come through, it's all
Yeah,
pressure.
it's gonna be all offensive.
That's why it say 1 hour for everything. That means it's just straight belts to ass when he come
Yep,
through.
yep.
Then we get back to the
You go
second
back to the second Peter. Yep.
God. I'm gonna start back at the top,
Yeah,
talking to
you
you.
got it. Yeah.
This is Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, "But the day of Yahweh Shai will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat."
Ooh, the elements should melt. With fervent heat. That's everything that we see is gonna be melted. Every apartment building, every the Superdome. Okay, the projects that nigga love. All right, these hoods that nigga die for, all this shit gonna be melted, man. All right,
Mhm.
the beauty supply store, you know,
Get your wig
yeah,
and
whatever you can put your eyes on in America is gonna be turned to a desert. It's gonna be melted by this fervent heat, which is gonna be these nukes, man, and also the fire from the chariots, man. Cause how shot gonna be adding fire to this place and those angels, man. Go ahead.
I'm reading at the bottom. It says
Yeah.
the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Certainly, it said could refer, but we know it does. It says certainly could refer to a nuclear holocaust.
Woo! Read that again.
It says the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Certainly could refer to a nuclear holocaust.
To a nuclear holocaust.
Like,
God damn.
like when you riding around, bro, I think we talked about it before. Like if your spirit can deal with it. When you riding around, bro, you need to really, really just take it in. Like, damn, oh, this shit about to be gone.
Yeah. As far as the eye can see.
Like, oh, this shit about to be gone. You need to really sit back and let that what the boy said, let that sizzle in your spirit. You need to sit back and just look around like, damn, all this about to be gone. And after that, you need to say, shit, if I don't get my shit together, maybe it's me.
And you're gonna be a part of it. That's the thing. And that's what our people don't understand. Like you're gonna be part of those elements because we're made of elements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So there's people included in that, you know?
Done.
There's people included in that, man. Yeah, I'm trying to see what my Bible say that.
Come. It says, thus Peter urges his
Yeah, it
readers.
say, yeah.
Hey, boy, I just sometimes I just like to go just
Yeah,
go through
it
them.
could go through that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they even got in a study Bible, that there could be a that's talking about nuclear holocaust, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said probably, but we know for certain that's
You know
what
for
it say.
certain.
Because the nukes on deck. Russia scrapped up, China. You best believe they talking about they don't want Iran to have no nuclear missiles. Nigga, they got them.
And you gotta realize too, Russia got way more nuclear arsenal than the US. They still got all that stuff from the Cold War too.
Mm-hmm.
So you ever just pay attention, they just been distributing everything around. Russia, man, they've been playing chess with Babylon, man. You look at it, they just been making statements. Making statements and everything like they'll move something over here. And if you look at it, man, just from knowing, there has never been a time where nukes has been moved around as much as it is now. They shipping them off like nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
It's been moved around for a while. It was like for a minute nobody could even really touch nukes like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now they just being strategically placed around. And if you know anything about chess, man, or how about Shema Shah done with Babylon, he just breaking down that other side. He just continue to break it down. And
Mm-hmm.
once that king get cornered, it's gonna be checkmate at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So you really, really, really need to pay attention. I know, brother. You go into the daily updates. not you don't do it daily, but you go into the updates on a frequent basis.
Mm-hmm.
So it is no excuse about not knowing, because you got brothers that dive and they go really deep into the current events.
And what the scriptures say that the Lord shall put these nations in array against Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
And then array is a battle formation. Ultimately, they're staging, like the brothers getting into, they're staging nukes all throughout the earth, but they all pointed towards the same landmass, which is America.
Spare no
Yeah,
arrows.
so the nukes gonna come from everywhere. When the Lord, all right, unleash them nukes on America, they're gonna come from everywhere. They're not just gonna come from the east, all right, to the west. Okay, they're gonna come from everywhere. All right, they're gonna come from the north to south, the west, the east to the west.
He said West
Yeah,
West.
yeah, they're gonna come from everywhere. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. It says that and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
They said the earth and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. See, the nukes, they're going to destroy the physical America, but then the culture is going to be destroyed. Okay, there's going to be no more American culture in the earth. Okay, a baddie, a real nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Nigga culture.
yeah, a Republican, a Democrat. Oh, that's not all the works. Everything that this man has established as a culture is gonna be burnt up, and that's why we have to have a mindset to live in the future, because the future is the only thing that's gonna exist. Matter of fact, since you found some.
I'm going to back you up where you
Yeah,
say
you got that.
everything gonna be in array.
Yeah, you got that.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 14. It says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about."
Yep. So this America is surrounded with nuclear arsenals everywhere because you got Russia over there in Alaska. Okay, you got Russia got these nuclear submarines that can pull up on both coasts of America. You got, like you say, Russia got assets in Cuba and Venezuela. Okay, so this place is surrounded. It's the nations have put themselves in array. Okay.
And then you gotta look at it too. We go into the BRICS and everything like that. How all these countries are, falling away from the dollar and everything like that too. But you gotta look at all the enemies that Babylon is making right now. It's all designed for the prophecy. So they're making all these enemies. So everybody that wants to see Babylon gone,
They ain't
they gonna
cahoots.
they gonna launch that motherfucker like an old school Tommy gun, bro. It says it says, "All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against you." How about Shema Shai?
Yes, for she have sinned against, and that's another thing. This is America represents the nation, all right, that sins against Yahweh Shema Shai. This is the standard of rebellion against righteousness is America. That's why she's known as the mother of harlots. Baal Shai, you can get that real quick in Matthew 24, I believe 33, just to go, because we're gonna go back in that Peter as well. Okay? Because it talk about, all the works therein being burnt up. Okay, but one thing that's not going to be burnt up is what? All right, the righteousness, man. You see, righteousness is going to continue. See, when this America is destroyed, righteousness is going to continue after that. That's going to be the standard now. So the Lord is destroying a rebellion. He's putting, see, this judgment is the Lord putting down a rebellion in the earth, man. And America is the source of that rebellion. Okay, and America is going to be made an example of, man, for being the ringleader of this rebellion against righteousness in the earth. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 24 and 33. It says, "So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors."
Hey, we're even at the doors, you know. Now this thing, like El Apostle Tahar say, this thing is down to months. And when we say months, it can be 24 months, 36 months, okay, 18 months. But this thing is down to months, man. We don't know exact date on it, okay? But we're pretty much in the phase to where, hey, each day, we're here. Something is happening that's leading to these things, okay, coming to pass, man. You
Mm-hmm.
know? So we're right here, man. Okay, we see all the signs. Everything is in place. Like I say, the nukes are in the silos. Okay, the digital system is becoming more and more prevalent with day to day society, man. A lot of places are going cashless. Okay, a lot of places, you know, are getting integrated with AI. Okay, so we see the signs of all these things happening for these major prophecies. All right, to take place. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Come, 34.
Yeah, you're gonna read the point in 35.
Come, it says, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled."
So this is that generation. Okay, ain't no 1,000 years from now. This is going. These things are going to happen in this generation, man, and we believe that wholeheartedly, man. Just as the scriptures say, from Abraham to Abraham. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
in this lifetime, all right, um,
It's
these
back you
things
up.
are going to be fulfilled, man. You got something?
Yeah, back you up.
Yep.
It says, "The generation that shall not pass is the generation in whose lifetime all these signs will occur."
Woo. Read that again.
It says, "The generation that shall not pass is the generation in whose lifetime which all these signs shall occur. The generation will not pass away until all these things be fulfilled."
So until the nukes hit, the C hip is made mandatory, then the nukes. Okay, this generation is not going to pass. It's going to happen this lifetime, man. We're here. Ain't no doubt about it, man.
It says, in other words, the previously listed signs was going into the signs at the beginning of Matthew chapter 24. It says will continue to multiply throughout the church age and reach their ultimate climax at the end of the age in the generation of who will live to see the entire matter fulfilled in their lifetime.
So these we're in the time to see the Bible fulfilled as far as the judgment.
Prophecies.
Yeah, we're here to see the judgment fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because in the kingdom we're still going to be existing in prophecy because it's prophesied that we'll rule forever, and that's going to go back into verse 35, which he's going to get.
Mm-hmm. Verse 35. It says, "Heaven and earth shall pass away."
Heaven and earth, which is speaking Esau's rulership. That's why I say seen Satan fall like lightning from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Esau falling from his rulership. So this current rulership. Okay, go ahead.
"But my words shall not pass away."
But my words, and within the word, Israel has an eternal rulership. So that's never going to pass away. In the word is written that these nations are going to come to the mount to the government of Israel to learn righteousness. So that's not going to pass away. But
Mm-hmm.
see, the things that people are into, people that live their life for this society, all this finna pass away.
Mm-hmm.
OnlyFans and all this, you see, it's like dope boys and nigga
Mm-hmm.
won't drop a mix. See, that's finna pass away.
And him in the spirit now, just now too, bro. You can kind of see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think you going into what was it, a camp. You know what I'm saying, it's like a seesaw. As Esau kingdom being broken down,
Mm-hmm.
the kingdom of Yahushua is being brought up, and all those characteristics of the kingdom, you can kind of see them in the spirit, bro. To where people of all nations come to the camps. They come and ask questions. They come and try. Some of them are scoffers and everything. But the point is, you can slowly start to seeing how people are coming for them answers on what they need to do.
And well, people, even if they don't acknowledge, well, we can tell that they're riding the wave for the prophets, man.
Mm-hmm.
These people with these different podcasts, and everybody's riding the wave of the prophets, man, because these are the only talking points that make sense in the earth, man. All
Mm-hmm.
right, a nigga trying to explain tariffs on TikTok, he don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the nigga woman, you know, trying to trying to figure out what's the problem, you know, between the dating, the dating crisis. That ain't that shit that ain't got no weight, man. And the only
Mm-hmm.
thing that's making sense is the talking points of the prophets, because we're speaking the words of Yahweh. We're speaking the will of Yahweh Shemal Shai.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Lord's will that we're speaking. We're just commentating and expounding on the will of the Lord.
Because Yahweh Shema Shai through the elder apostles, the elders and the apostles of GMS, and which are the true prophets, you know, and then all the brothers thereof, have pretty much revolutionized the way of teaching. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody want to read it now. You know, everybody wants to try to talk about, get into prophecy.
Yeah,
But
get
you,
into the history. Everybody want to get into words. Everybody want to reverence. The Illuminati, and
hmm
everybody want to try to reverence. Okay, who the true people are, and you know, all these things go back, to the truth, man. So the
hmm
truth, as the scriptures say, is over flooding the earth, man. The
hmm
scriptures say that truth would begin to flood the earth, man. So now it's pouring over into every sector of society, man, to where
hmm
it can't be denied, man. And see, the more we teach, the more, all right, what we teach become the reality, man. And that's the prophet speaking these things into existence. Even Jacob's trouble. All right. So you niggas shaking in your boots about Jacob trouble. It's coming, nigga. You
coming.
know?
Because you can you can say you believe or not, you can mock and scoff, but some part, and I believe that for every last one of you niggas, bro. And that's your brothers out there, you people that don't want to listen. You believe you might not listen wholeheartedly to the prayer, but you believe something happened. That's why you niggas running up in them churches now. Trying to get your life together, quote unquote, because you get like this. Everybody of some essence, they know something's about to happen, you know? And like we were going on into, all these preachers and everything, all they do is listen to the prophets. They take what they want to and they try to remix the rest of it to sound good to stay within that 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, everybody knows something that's going to happen. The spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah.
They gotta do that to stay relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Cause they know they can't bring them whack ass, all right, sermons from back in the day. You know? Cause now the thing is people want to be informed. People want an informative message, you know? And Christianity is not doing it. Okay? Nigga culture has no info. All right, except how to destroy yourself. So people want information, even those I say they don't believe, because people that don't believe, because you notice that the most views be the prophecy videos, man. When you go into the MOTB, when
Mm-hmm.
you going into the war, that's when you see a lot of more people tune in. Because people want to be informed about what's going on real time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, some bro.
Comments, just one of the precepts in the comments. We got Isaiah 19, 1 and 2. Just one. Going to the burden of Egypt.
Okay, you got it, bro.
This is the brother GMS. Pray always, hopeful elect. Throw out for the precept, bro. This is Isaiah 19 and 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh shall ride it up a swift cloud
You got it.
and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and
You got it.
the earth, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Yeah, that's what we're reading about, because Yahweh Shai, he's gonna be the one that's gonna come on that swift cloud, that chariot, okay, and destroy this whole infrastructure and destroy this whole culture and all this rebellion that Esau has established in the earth is gonna be destroyed at the coming of Yahweh Shai, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ain't gonna be no such thing as an atheist anymore. All
Mm-hmm.
right, it's gonna be impossible to be an atheist. Okay, because now the God that you say you don't believe, well, no, He's here through His Son. He has physically appeared through His Son, and He's judging. Okay, so like I say, this rebellion, this age of enlightenment, talking about the individual experience above, traditional faith. Okay, and authority. No, that traditional authority is coming back to reestablish authority. Okay, through judgment. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. Um, you go back to that
Repeat
that Peter, yeah, we get ready to end off in that Peter.
it. Verse 11, it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversations and
And
godliness?
our holy conversation and godliness, man. Holy goes into separate. Conversation goes into conduct, man. So we should have a separate conduct from this world that the Lord is about to judge, man. Okay, we should constantly separate our conduct more and more from this world and line it up with the scriptures because let's say heaven and earth will pass away, but his word shall not pass away. So if we're living all right, according to this word, then we're living for the future kingdom to come. And we're separating from this kingdom that's going to be destroyed. So that's the manner of person that we should be. A person that's living for the future world of righteousness and detaching from the old world of wickedness, man. Okay? You got it, bro.
Mm-hmm. Verse 12. It says, looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of the Most High. It's like other power wherewith the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Yeah, so we look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man, hastening unto that day. You know, our mind is set on righteousness one day ruling the world, man. This is what we own, man. You know, this is what we own right now, man. Jake talking about, people talk about this is what I'm on right now. So a nigga might be trying to be, like I said, athlete, a rapper, some type of entrepreneur, whatever. And Jake could tell you, well, this is what I'm on right now. Well, this is what we own right now. Okay, and that's a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. You know, and until that happens, as the scriptures say, give him no rest until Jerusalem is a praise in the earth. Well, we're here to give the Lord no rest, man. These live streams, fasting, praying, as we come together and the Lord is hearing our collective, complaints, and you know,
Was it cry out?
yeah, we cry out, and when we, just talk about the kingdom, the Lord is hearing it as well, man, and He's going to begin to more and more fulfill, all right, the judgment that's to come, that's leading to this kingdom, all right, this earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. You know, yeah, something else.
Well, I'm gonna read that bottom, and then I want to get well. I'm gonna read this definitely. This is the blue letter for the word haste. Strong's G 4692 Spudo. Spudo. Okay, Spudo. It says to haste, make haste, or to desire earnestly.
Yeah, or to desire earnestly, man.
Mm-hmm.
And this, see, as we mature, this the only thing we really desire. This the only thing that really gets us up and going and excited.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we conquer the flesh more and more and lust, it's like, nah, this the only thing that desires. Hey, we desire rulership, man. So this the only thing that gets us up and moving and active, you know, is this. We knowing this is coming, man. You got it,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
That word, I got that word earnestly. It said just a quick Google search. Earnestly in the Bible meaning. It says in the Bible, earnestly describes a fervent, sincere, and serious attitude or action. It suggests a desire to seek, pursue, or wait for something with a deep conviction or commitment.
Yeah, a deep conviction or commitment. And then it says to wait for something
Mm-hmm.
in pursuit. This is what we're in pursuit of, man. And we should be concentrating our energy into this, man. Just concentrate more and more energy into this, man.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be all over the place and got all this bullshit going on that don't matter. No, we want to keep concentrating energy into this, man.
Mm-hmm.
And this is putting a covering on us as well, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Since you said that, finish it off. It says, thus Peter urges his readers to look beyond the present world
To
or
look
this
beyond the
age.
present world.
Mm-hmm.
Look beyond this shit. It's done. It's played out. What are you doing? What is it to chase? The chase money, that's inflating. That's devalued. Women have been devalued to trash. Okay? Popularity, you know what you gotta do for popularity. You gotta be an absolute weirdo freak.
Mm-hmm.
So what the hell could you be chasing here, man? Okay? It's time to look beyond this, man. All right, go ahead.
It says, thus Peter urges his readers to look beyond this present world, which goes into this age,
Mm.
this time. It says, to a new heavens and a new earth characterized by righteousness.
Characterized by righteousness, man. And this is what this is our desire now, man. A righteous kingdom, man, where Yahweh Shai has established the throne of David back in the earth, man. You know, so that's the point. Lord will you brothers, all right, and you sisters edify once again. I'm gonna give all praise and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakadash. and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing, salutation, and hopefully, shalom.
Shalom. And that was it. 4-1.